All right, welcome back. This is M-Dog, and we are back here at Elk Lake. It's 1:45. I'm gonna ask in chat if anyone has tried trolling yet. See if anybody says anything in our chat. It's 1:53. So let me show you kind of what we're gonna use. Oh man, I had written down. Have I lost it? I might be able to find it. Very little luck. Okay. I'm guessing it's funny they updated the client and they put rod holders on the boat for the first time, which is kind of interesting. Um so I'm not sure if like trolling was maybe a little bit of an afterthought here or if it is something that is meant to work. So it sounds like from people in chat that maybe it doesn't work so well. And that may just be the case, and I may, that may be fine. But I thought we'd at least experiment for a little bit. And if we're not catching anything trolling, then maybe we'll just find somewhere and start casting. What I'd really love to do, I mean, I know I talked about this last video, but I'd love to be able to catch a I think it's this one. Be able to catch some of the bass species we haven't caught yet. So these are the three kind of rods I wanted to try. First of all, I had the spiker on the ultralight because I figured that would be a good test if we're getting any kind of nibble at all trolling. And then we have one of the craws, and then we have a whatever these are called, flip jig. So there's other things I wanted to try too, but I thought those would be a good starting point. So we're actually going to throw 3 rods out there. We have a little time left. I forgot that we had a ticket. Isn't it crazy how cheap you can tell they're not expecting you to do a whole lot, because you can get a 5-day boat ticket for next to nothing, truly. All right, so we're gonna start trolling. We are using bait casters all the way around, and I'm just so curious if we'll catch anything. All right, so here's the jigging rig. I mean, I'm not even sure. Like, I've not trolled jigging rigs very much. So if this doesn't work, we can't really be surprised. So that's probably the one that we should switch first. Let's see how far this is going to go. Way too far. All right, cool. Okay, so we've got our setups. Let's just see if we catch anything. It's 3:30, 3:20 in the morning. We'll get going, and like I said, as we're trolling, I'll try to keep track of. I'll try to look up some others, see if there's some spots maybe we can just go cast at if we don't, if we're not catching anything trolling. I kind of feel like we just want to move straight across the lake, obviously. I mean, just so that we don't have to worry as much about turning and stuff. But let's get going. I mean, we're still at least an hour and a half, 2 hours from time of day that you would expect to catch much anyway. Like normal trolling and spin fishing and all. Alright, let's see. Nothing on the spiker. Let's just make sure nothing's on anything here as we've made this big turn. Let's see what we're using here too. Okay, 8.2. Lower that friction brake a little bit. How far back is this? Guess that's far enough back. And then this we're running 12.3. I think that's also fine. All right, let's see how it goes. See if we can figure anything out. So there was a small client update. Fix some things with some trophies that were, I don't know, not showing up on people's accounts or something. Put boat rod holders back on the boats. And, you know, a couple little changes like that. Apparently, white crappie was giving too much XP. You know, some people have noticed and talked about that. It just seems like that folks aren't making a lot of silver here or whatever, but or maybe it's not as much silver as some people hoped it would be. I don't know. I fully. I mean, first of all, I think we have to remember it's a starter lake. I will not be surprised if over time if it is a little on the low end, I mean, once they have data to look at, they could increase some of the small fish and some of the, you know, sunfish and stuff if it needs to be increased over time. I don't know if it does or not. I mean, the bite rate seems awesome on some of that small stuff. Whoa, there's stuff in the middle of the lake here. I don't know if I realized that. Let's make sure we don't get snagged or something there. Like we're okay. Yeah, so we'll just kind of keep going that way. Well, the sun is coming up. So people are saying 114, 106. Let's see where that is. 114. Oh, wait, is that the, catfish spot maybe? That might be the catfish spot. I'm trying to remember the coordinates of it. I feel like that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. So apparently people are just standing there and casting. I think a lot of people have been casting from there just because they're, you know, waiting on trying to catch catfish or whatever. Maybe that doesn't surprise us too much. Okay, so still early. It's 5:18. Let's give it till 7. If we don't have anything on anything, I think I'll take the jigging rig off while we're trolling and try something else in place of the jigging rig. So who knows, maybe, you know, maybe eventually trolling will get a little better. There are so many more species here. I think there's a fish on, by the way. There are so many more species here than if you think about, you know, a level 1 player who wants to, like, get into trolling, figuring out trolling. Compared to mosquito, I mean, you have a chance of much, much more interesting fish here because of all of the predators and different species that are here. So in that sense, you know, that's very exciting. First fish, gizzard shad, by the way. We'll take that. Trolling on the spiker. So our control rod catches the first fish. What I may actually do, let's think about this. I think I'm gonna hold the ultralight. I'd rather really give these other rods a chance to do something. And if we have to chase a fish around the lake on an ultralight, I'm fine with that. I welcome disaster here. This would be fine. So let's make some changes here. We can just do it while we're still moving. What's the best way of doing this? I think it's to put that away, to get this out. And we want to change this one to the 3rd slot. And then let's grab that. Put that on the first one. The others don't really matter. I'm going to keep this lure on a little longer. Wow, that went really far. That went really far. And we're going to take the jigging rig off. Since this doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, let's change this to a lure rig. And let's put on bigger lake than I realized. This is the first time I've been on all the way out on this side of the lake. Alright, we're trying the Pro Double Willow 004. And we still have on the Bass Hunter. Again, I don't know if it's any good to troll these or not. Ooh, is that how much it's weighting? Oh my goodness. Wow. That's our first largemouth. You know what? Let's take this jigging, this bass jig out too. And let's switch it to a lure rig. And let's put on, I wanted to do the Colorado one, or one of the Colorado. Let's go 1/4. Oh, let's do the 005. We can max cast it. It's so light. We probably don't have this on the right. Fine. That's perfect. And then as a control, we'll also put the spiker out and let's see if we catch anything. So far, gizzard, shad, largemouth bass. We're just trying to find lures that even work a little bit. And hopefully we will not get snagged here. And then eventually we'll maybe just find a place to go fish. All right, fish on spiker. Gotta believe if nothing else, the spiker will work. White bass, love it. Can we stand up with the boat moving? No. All right. All right, we won't give it too much longer. What were they using here? .002, the 1/8 .002. I guess that's what it was. We could favorite that one just so I remember. See, where was this? 9587. We could try that. Trying to find any information at all. Still not a lot of information. All right, 95. Oh, wow, we're almost there. I mean, like, we're gonna be there any second. Ooh, bluegill. Okay. I got you. All right, so let's get these other ones out of the water. Oh no. How long have we been dragging a fish and I didn't realize it? Huh. Okay, let's see here. We did not drop the anchor. Good. Just need to be able to see spot so that we can. There we go. This way we can cast. What they're wanting us to do is cast right over here and 95. Wait, we have to change the. Yeah, there it is. All right. Now they say on this post, let's test this. They say you can do uniform and catch fish in this spot. So I like when somebody posts a spot and we can come here and actually test what they're saying. So they're saying jig step or universal. And what we're trying to catch is warmouth or white crappie. We'll see if speed up works. It does. All right, we'll try a little slow jig step. Now I don't know if we'll be able to get jig step going, but we're gonna try this. A red ear. Okay. All right, it's warmouth. 346, not bad. We're doing 2 rotations, 20 retrieval. At start and stop, they seem to be going for it. There's a white crappie. Try 1 retrieval. Just seems like 2 retrievals is going to work better to me, but colors of these little fish, huh? All right. Let's just try straight return this time. Well, as advertised, this does seem to be working. Now, a lot of them are small. But it does seem to be working. Jig step or straight retrieval. All right. So the other thing was 114. It's that spot over there. Let's go see. There's folks who are doing okay, it looks like, occasionally with the different jigging setups. I thought we could try a jigging rig and maybe a Texas rig as well. We want to go around here to the 114 spot or close to it. Is there a break in the reeds where we could go ahead and get out on land and not be on top of our spot maybe? Oh, you know what? We could use this dock because the actual spot is just past the dock, right? It's kind of cool. I'm hoping to fish off of this dock one day, but this is not that day. I didn't leave. Nah. Yeah, I think I'm going to try using this one because I think what we're going to be using can be a little heavier. All right, so this is the spot. We're just kind of casting over that, 4.5 hole. And let's see what we've got. Really? Do I really not have... I thought I had purchased both sizes. Okay. Okay, we're back from the store. So we actually did get, I wanted to try one of these larger crawls just to see if we could even get any kind of bite right here. We threw that across Elk Lake, to be fair. We're going to try to just jig step this back to. Let's just see if we get anything going. And then we'll probably go down. This is a big oversized setup. We'll go down to a little more appropriately sized setup shortly. All right. Wait. What is this? It says it's a fish. But honestly, it feels more stuck than anything else. Okay, it is coming now. I am so curious. We've got a lot of power on this setup. But it was only like tricky when it was kind of on the bottom, I guess. Maybe it's just a catfish or something. I mean, we were just running a soft bait sort of along the bottom, so. And this is a known catfish spot. We'll see though. That's very interesting. Wow. Look at you. That's my first flathead catfish. So when I first streamed this, I guess a couple days ago now, I tried not to look at the fish. Holy cow! I tried not to look at the fish on the lake because I wanted to be surprised as I caught stuff. I mean, some you can't avoid because you're seeing trophies in chat or whatever, but that is the bait we're using, actually. Interesting. Yeah, we might actually want to put a stronger reel. We've got a pretty strong setup, but this towel, it's got some strength, but I didn't know we were, I didn't know what we were getting into fishing like this. So it got a little harder to jig step once we got close in here. Let's try this again. I think it's pretty easy to get jig step when it's in the hole. And I'm guessing once we start to pull it out of the 4.5, that jig step's a little tougher to maintain. Here I was thinking that catfish was like decent size. I hadn't seen that species. And then we see the weekly sizes. Wow. So we're at 35 meters away. See where it drops off the jig step. At 20. Try to keep a little bit of a jig step even though it's in shallower waters. Yeah, I think we just pull it in at that point. All right, let's try again. And I guess we'll go a little farther out again. Then after this one, I might try just like rotating back and forth. Maybe we'll cast a you know, a little smaller jig. Okay, we're getting close again. All right, let's try the same thing, but let's try with the smaller jig and smaller setup. Maybe we get a little better bite rate on smaller fish. Oh, I guess we could cast this first, huh? Interesting. Kind of figures, huh? Um, 15. We're gonna basically try to recreate. I think we have to have, okay, at least a large 2 hook. That's too big. I have got to remember to take care of that. I gotta buy. I want to use a 2. What I'd like to use. Ooh, nice trophy white crappie, somebody. We're just not getting jig stuff, are we? We got it for a minute. All right, one more, and then we'll call it. I was just thinking about how we caught that largemouth over there. I wonder if it'd be worth going and trying to test some spots sometime, just with some of the bass jigs or just something we think that the largemouth might be interested in. See if we can find them at all. Yeah, we found the way to keep jig step going, I guess, but we're just not getting the bite rate out here. Moving that jaw, that soft bait, jigging it through the water, huh? Okay, so let's go ahead and call it there. I would say trolling seems really weak right now. That doesn't mean it always will. There may be some things that we've got to figure out, or it might just be waiting on the body, the water body to mature a little bit and seeing what we figure out. I do want to find, and I'm sure this will eventually exist, but I just want to find some places where we can go fish and have at least a chance of running into some bass, bringing in some bass here and there. Kind of what we're all looking for, but I haven't had a lot of time to play, but I'm not sure if anybody's really found it yet. But maybe they have, and I just haven't heard about it. But that's what we're looking for. All right, see you next time.